there's perhaps no one I'd rather talk to about the Republicans' supposed anti-corporate turn than independent Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont. Senator Bernie Sanders, good to have you. You have been a critic of corporate power for a very long time, and so I have to imagine you feel very excited to have all these new collaborators and comrades who are going to link arms with you to very seriously take on corporate power in America from the Republican side.
It is just extraordinary, Chris. Imagine that after $1 trillion of tax breaks, the large corporations, after lowering the corporate tax rate, after protecting the pharmaceutical industry from charging us by far the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs, et cetera, Mitch McConnell and his friends are very upset that some corporations are now saying that it is an outrage that in Georgia, they are trying to destroy democracy and make it harder for people of color and low-income people to vote. Look, all of this is nothing more than a deflection, and you made that point well, a deflection against the reality that all over this country, what Republicans are doing is trying to protect their interests by making it harder for people who might be voting against them to participate in the political process. That means minorities. That means young people, people who are not sympathetic to their right-wing agenda. And our job is, among other things, to pass H.R. 1, an important piece of legislation which says that in America, if you are 18 years of age, no matter what they do in Georgia or anyplace else, you got the right to vote. Right. That we get rid of. We finally move forward to address Citizens United. And by the way, as you know, Mitch McConnell was the biggest Senate defender of Citizens United and the ability of corporations to buy elections.
It's an amazing thing to watch Mitch McConnell, of all people, who said himself he was the named plaintiff to sue against McCain-Feingold. He was the biggest pusher of Citizens United. He has been, as a first principle, believed that corporate right to speak in the election sphere is sacrosanct. For him to say CEOs stay out of politics, it's an astonishing sentence for that man of all people to utter.
Well, Chris, we no longer use the word astonishing in Washington, D.C. Clearly, our Republican friends now are going to do everything they can in every way to try to win elections. And that certainly includes excessive gerrymandering, and it includes making it harder for people to vote. And we have got to be extremely aggressive. I can't think of any issue more important than making sure that Americans can vote and participate in the political process.
I want to just to be sort of slightly more serious here about the sort of Republican politics on sort of corporations, right? It is sort of interesting and strange to me. So this is not coming from some place of a vision of political economy like I think criticisms that you've leveled at, say, Amazon or Walmart is coming from. You had Marco Rubio, right? So you've got the big Amazon unionization drive. You've been very outspoken in support of it. Marco Rubio basically writing this column essentially saying, I don't really like unions, and I tend to side with corporations over them, but because Amazon's cultural politics or because their pronouncements are bad and I don't like them, I now support the union, sort of. And you're seeing more and more of this idea that Republicans should use the mechanisms and levers of regulation or the state to explicitly punish certain kinds of speech or interventions politically by corporations. What do you think of that?
Well, I'll tell you what I think. I take a little bit different take. I think the Republican Party now, at least certain leaders of the party, are trying to pretend that they are a party of the working class. Mm-hmm. That's what they're trying to do. And obviously that is total nonsense. What they are trying to do is appeal to working class people in terms of racial politics, in terms of homophobic politics, in terms of xenophobic politics. And what our job is, which takes me to what we're trying to do with reconciliation here, is we have got to, the Democrats loudly and proudly have got to be the party of the working class of this country. We have got to be prepared, in fact, to take on the greed of corporate America. We need to be passing a second reconciliation bill, which deals not only with physical infrastructure and creating millions of good-paying jobs. Chris, we need to deal with human infrastructure, healthcare, education, climate change,
Yeah.
making sure that every kid in this country gets the quality education he or she needs, does not leave school deeply in debt. And one of the issues I'm working on in this new reconciliation package is the need to expand Medicare to cover dental care, hearing aids, and eyeglasses, because millions of seniors cannot afford those basic health care needs. I want to lower Medicare eligibility age to 60 so a whole lot of more people can get into that important program.
So you mentioned this second reconciliation package, so I just want to set the table here because there's sort of an interesting context, right? When the big COVID rescue package passed, we saw Republicans railing against Dr. Seuss. They didn't make a particularly, I thought, concerted or effective argument against the COVID rescue package. Today, there's a ruling from the Senate parliamentarian, and we don't have to get caught up in process here. But basically, you're going to get another shot at another reconciliation bill, which means another big bill that can pass with 50 votes.
Yes.
How big a deal is that? I mean, how much of a game changer is that for the legislative horizon for Democrats?
It's important because it gives us a little more flexibility. You don't have to push everything into one bill.
I see what you're saying.
So in other words, right now, what this new reconciliation package is about is dealing with long-term structural problems. Everybody knows our physical infrastructure is collapsing. We know we can create millions of jobs transforming our energy system away from fossil fuel. But also we have got to deal with human infrastructure. We cannot continue being the only major country on earth that doesn't have paid family and medical leave. We have the opportunity now to substantially lower student debt, to make public colleges and universities tuition free, to expand healthcare. We are behind many other major countries on earth in guaranteeing basic economic rights to working families. And we have got to move forward at this opportunity to do that. And the ruling from the parliamentarian gives us a little bit more opportunity in that direction.
To bring it to the sort of final point here and sort of end a little bit where we began, I mean, my understanding is one of the big fights right now is going to be on the corporate tax rate, like a huge policy fight in which the Democratic Party is going to try to raise taxes for corporations, and the Republican Party will not give a single vote for it, right? Like, I haven't lost my mind. That is actually
Chris,
one of the big policy fights.
Yes, I know that you will be shocked that after Mitch McConnell's vehement anti-corporate rant today, that he will vote vigorously and lead the opposition against asking large corporations and the wealthy to start paying their fair share of taxes. I know you will be shocked at that revelation.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.